The question: the city has spent millions of dollars trying to fix the problem of flooding in Charleston. Part of that involves the city working with the Army Corps of Engineers to construct an 8-foot protective seawall around the peninsula. It's expected to cost an estimated $1.1 billion. By a show of hands, who is in favor of the seawall? All right, Ms. Gamons, like I said, we're going to start with you. You have 60 seconds to explain why you did not raise your hand.
I'm not in favor of the seawall because it only addresses one issue in one area of the city. And we have to remember that the city of Charleston means the peninsula, west of the Ashley, part of Johns Island, part of James Island, and also Daniel Island. So it's important when we're addressing these issues to take a holistic view of our city, our beautiful city. So I am not in favor of that, again, because money is going in one area for one issue, and that does not address flooding. It's only for storm surges. And if you look at the plans thus far, it's not something that is visually pleasing. And we love Charleston. We live in this beautiful city because of the aesthetics. So that is the reason I would say let us put our money where we will affect everyone in those other areas in town where they are experiencing flooding. So that's my reason for not supporting it.
Ms. Gamons, thank you. Mr. Cogswell, the same question to you. Just please explain your stance.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that sea level rise is an existential threat, and we don't have a lot of time to waste on protecting the city, not just the peninsula, but the entire city against it. And so when you look at the Army Corps study, and I've dug into it in some detail, and I've talked to other cities that have embarked on this same federal program, it's kind of a one-size-fits-all. As Ms. Gammon's pointed out, it is only set up or designed to withstand storm surge, and to put that size structure around our city, our peninsula, with that kind of dollar amount, frankly, I don't think is realistic in terms of we don't have the funding for our share of it, and I don't think we will have the votes because the rest of the city, West Ashley, Johns Island, Daniel Island, probably won't vote for $400 million expenditure that only protects the peninsula where they will be underwater during that storm surge event. Thank you.
Mr. Cogswell, thank you. Mr. Middleton, the same question.
So in 2018, Congress authorized the Army Corps of Engineers to do this study. So I believe it is in our best interest to let that process go through. The process is not done. The issues that I have is that there's some people that have not been involved in that process. I do have an issue with the phasing of it because for the natural barriers part of it, you have Bridgeview Apartments, Rosemont are in different phases of development. That is a problem. Why is it that those that would be mostly impacted would come in second and third phases? So I do believe we have to answer the question of how do we pay for this? Yes, the Army Corps of Engineers, if this is approved and then it moves forward, then the city of Charleston has to come in with, I believe, 35%, which is about $400 million. We have to answer the question, how do we pay for it? And recognizing that this does not solve everyday flooding. So the process needs to continue, and I believe as mayor of the city of Charleston, I'm well suited.
Mr. Middleton, thank you. Mr. Tecklenburg, the same question to you.
So we've just gotten through the feasibility study, and it was approved by Congress, by the way, which means if we get to an acceptable project, that the federal government will pay 65%. Now that's something like $830 million to help Charleston protect itself from sea level rise and storm surge. And yes, all flooding risks will be taken into account. Surge, tidal, rainfall. Why would you leave $830 million on the table? It would be irresponsible not to at least go through the design engineering phase and find out if we can design a project that's acceptable, that will protect our city for decades to come.
Mr. Tecklenburg, thank you. Mr. Shea had the same question. Please explain your stance. You have 60 seconds.
So obviously we need something to protect the city from storm surge. The battery we have now has done an excellent job to some limited extent in doing that. However, the city has limited financial resources in addressing this particular issue. Our own consultants have told us there's approximately 200 other flooding-related projects that the city needs to be addressing throughout the course of time. Some of those projects are in West Ashley and some are on James Island. So the money that we have allocated is going to be limited, and we need to be putting our priorities into order, which is addressing those issues that affect our neighborhoods on a regular basis. So these projects that we're talking about will help keep water out of people's bedrooms, their garages, their yards. And if we don't start addressing those issues first, then we're neglecting our neighborhoods and we're neglecting the rest of the city. So I would say let's address those projects first before we address anything else.
Mr. Shade, thank you. Ms. Gadsden, the question goes to you. You have 60 seconds.
Well, just briefly, from the start, the project is flawed. It requires outmoded pumps, diesel pumps that will be inundated by water. And those pumps happen to be on back order for about 2 years. It's more cement when we need to be moving toward more green infrastructure. So we need green infrastructure solutions. We've already done the studies, completed the studies like the Dutch Dialogues, which suggested that we revitalize places like the Gadsden Creek. It's not just because it's a green space that's beautiful, it's because it provides a drainage feature. Our city needs to move in the direction of green infrastructure and stop moving toward policy making and decision making that centers only a select few. The other objection I have is that, yeah, this project only is purported to protect a few Charlestonians. We need to democratize access to sound solutions to the climate crisis, and we need to make sure that each zip code, each area in Charleston, each working class community in Charleston has access to flood relief.
All right, candidates, thank you for your response. Carolyn?